Hi there and welcome along to this video, 5 lessons from sailing for landlords. Now, as some of you may be aware, myself and my husband Nick are very keen sailors. Indeed, that was one of the original motivations for us to get involved in property investment. We wanted to be able to go out sailing as much as possible. As it happens, we ended up buying a luxury RV, so we have land adventures in our motorhome, but we do charter yachts as well whenever possible. Now, we've chartered yachts in the Caribbean and the Mediterranean, and we've had many adventures and hairy moments, such as surfing down the front of a 20-foot wave in a 37-foot boat, and also trying to gain entry through a complex reef system into the Tobago Cays just as dusk was falling, which was pretty scary. I've also learned the meaning of the word cabin fever after being stuck on a yacht with Nick for 2 weeks in very challenging weather conditions, and also being woken up at night to undertake my watch in torrential rain and wind before returning to my bunk, which was tipped on its side due to the heel of the boat. So, you know, the good times outweighed the bad, of course, and I can't wait to go sailing again. But the thing was, I noticed how often I use sailing analogies in my writings. So I thought I'd write a little bit or create a video in this case about the lessons learned from sailing that can be applied to property investment. Now, number 1, planning. Now, once you're out in the ocean, you cannot pop to the shops for some milk or a screw that came loose on the rudder. You have to think of every eventuality and plan for it. And, you know, you have to plan your course. How do you get to your destination without a heading and a direction? And the weather and tides can be in your favor, or indeed, they can be against you. So it's important to know what you're going to encounter on your journey so that you can prepare the boat and the sails for those conditions. Now, in property, planning is also very important, whether that's planning your strategy, a refurb, how to raise finance, whatever it might be. Sitting down quietly to plan your activities is time well spent. Now, you also need goals in property, something to aim for, like a destination. It's really helpful to visualize that destination, see what it looks like in your mind, and then reverse plan from that. Now, some people like to have 5-year goals, 2-year goals, 1-year goal, but I think ultimately it's important to have both short and long-term goals. And goals keep you on track, and that ensures that your passage to your outcome is straight and direct. So you're being efficient. Number 2 is discipline and self-sacrifice. On a yacht in the ocean, you are dependent on yourself, your boat, and your fellow crew members. Now, each person has a small part to play, but that part is equally important to what everybody else does. You're in a kind of chain that the links have all got to be the same strength. For instance, you know, the cook is very important because they keep the crew well fed so that they can perform their duties, and good food always helps build morale in any situation. Now, the person on watch is responsible for the entire crew. You can't afford to nod off at the helm at night. So bring a good crew to your property business, your lettings agent, your broker, your solicitor, your handyman, all the people that you have around you to help you achieve what you're trying to achieve. And be sure to sacrifice instant gratuity for delayed gratification. Outstanding results in all spheres almost always require sacrifice and a willingness to go the extra mile. Now, I love this saying. Remember, if you don't get what you want in life, it's because you didn't want it badly enough or you haggled over the price. The price not necessarily being monetary. It might be a sacrifice that you have to make. Number 3, challenging situations are where the most growth occurs. Now, wonderful saying from Franklin D. Roosevelt, a smooth sea never made a skilled sailor. If you're always in sunny skies with fair winds, you're not going to end up being a good sailor. Your skills are honed when you're in the big seas and the high winds. So when the challenging times come in property, recognize them as a time of tremendous growth and learning, and jump aboard the good ship property tribes if you need a bit of extra support. But high winds, big seas, you're honing your skills and your knowledge, and you're becoming better at what you do. Number 4, monitor and track your performance. Now, when sailing, you're always seeking to ensure that the boat is performing at the optimum level. This means constantly reading the wind and the waves and tweaking the sails to ensure the boat is moving through the water in the most efficient manner. That is how you get up to speed at sailing. Now, treat your portfolio as the same, and you can use property or financial management software like PT Partner Landlord to monitor your portfolio's performance. And the great thing about Landlord is that as long as you have a smart device and an internet signal, you can access and use it anywhere. And that means even while you're sailing on the ocean. So that's why we call it carrying a portfolio in your pocket. And finally, don't forget the value of heaving to. Now, when we were doing our skipper training, one of the most valuable lessons or things that we were taught is how to make the boat heave to. Now, this is a way of slowing a sailing vessel's forward progress, as well as fixing the helm and sail position so that the vessel does not have to be steered. It's a maneuver that's used in heavy seas, if you want to take a break, or if there's a man overboard situation. But it's essentially parking your yacht on the surface of the ocean without the need for dropping your anchor. Now, I do like this to explain something. Many of you will remember the Fastnet Race of 1979, which the most terrible tragedy unfolded due to a massive storm that swept in, and there were 19 fatalities that night. What was really interesting was that the yachts that made the decision to heave to and wait out the storm were the yachts that actually survived. So they didn't try to kind of outwit the storm or run ahead of the storm. They just heaved to and they waited for the storm to pass, and they had a much better outcome than the yachts that didn't. Now, I think this idea of heaving to can be used in property during challenging market conditions. Just heave to with your property portfolio, sit tight and wait for the storm to pass. Don't try to beat the storm or predict the storm. Maintain your position, stay safe, wait for the wind to die down and the waves to calm, and then you're in a position to move forward. So those are my 5 lessons from sailing for landlords. And it's interesting because both myself and Nick have been sailing since we were children, actually. I started when I was about 8 years old, and that's a lot longer than I've actually been investing in property. I've been a landlord for about 18 years now, but I'm very grateful that investing in property has helped me to spend more time out on the water. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, please like. We invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel and also smash the notifications bell for more of the same. But for now, whatever you're doing, I wish you fair winds, and always remember you can heave to.